Gaming had always been a core part of my childhood, and I would say it's safe to assume that it was the same for a lot of people. Growing up, gaming for me meant a living room carpet covered in controller cables with game boxes everywhere and those sibling fights that would always break out. You know, looking back at that constant fighting with my brother over who got the better controller is what gaming was all about. That's if my controller was even connected to begin with. And if you're a younger sibling, you know what I mean. But a huge role into those great and scarring experiences we enjoyed was the games we were playing. Those earlier unforgiving games that would throw you right in without or with minimal explanation, and it was pretty much up to you to figure out what to do next. And looking back, those challenging, defying titles deserve a closer look. I'm the Portable Pops, and today I'm going to look at the 10 games that defined my childhood and share a bit of what my experience was when I played those games. Maybe you played the same games as I did growing up, or maybe you didn't. You can let me know at the end of this video in the comments. We are starting off the list with the Driver series, but specifically Driver 3. This game is special to me because this title is one of the few games that I played with my dad. He really enjoyed driving around in the open world and seeing all the different types of cars in the game, while also running from the cops, of course. Another thing was just admiring the views each map had to offer, and if we're being honest, even to today's standards, that game looks pretty dang good. One of the funnest parts of the game was the Easter eggs. The famous one was eliminating Tommy Vermicelli, who is a Tommy Vercetti parody character from GTA Vice City. He has floaties in Driver since in GTA you couldn't swim and in Driver 3 you could, which was a huge win for the game. We never killed them all, so we never figured out what it would do if you completed the Easter egg, but the mystery of why they were there was a huge one for my brother and I. Back in the day, it wasn't as easy as it is now to get explanations on certain aspects of games on the internet. Also, finding the secret cars was a huge part of the time spent on this game. From the Ford GT40 to the go-kart that will let you flip cars in the open world and the infamous hippie van. There was something special and gave a great sense of accomplishment when we found those cars without tutorials or cheat sheets showing you where they were. In general, a solid game with a pretty good story mode that I was probably a bit too young to be experiencing, but it was sure a heck of a time. Next is Duke Nukem Time to Kill. Definitely another game that I was too young to be playing, but nonetheless was one of my most played and favorite games. There was just something so special about the split screen mode, 1v1ing in the Coliseum with jetpacks and those secret rooms. But what made it even more special was playing it late at night during sleepovers with my cousins and my brother. We never really got too much into the story mode of the game, but the first mission was one to remember as a kid, if you know what I mean. And it might be worth it now to complete it since it can be easily emulated.
Oh yeah.
Next, we have SOCOM. But to be more specific, SOCOM 2. This game right here holds a special place in my heart. Watching my older brother be just a beast in the story mode, and him completing the different missions, and him showing me the wise ways of playing. Especially that first mission, commanding your squad and having them help you out felt just so ahead of its time for a military shooter game. Shoutouts to my big brother, you know this game is one that is ingrained in our memories. One of the things that I remember like it was just yesterday was not having a memory card for our PlayStation 2, and us having to restart the game and getting as far as we could in a single day just to have to replay it all over again the next day. And we did it day after day. I don't fully remember why we didn't have a memory card. Maybe for my parents it was hard to justify the price for a small piece of plastic that maybe they didn't understand fully what it was for, or maybe we never bothered to ask for one. And that's the thing, back in the day gaming was different. You didn't mind replaying the same game and missions over and over. You just enjoyed the game and the moment with loved ones. Now switching it up with consoles, we have Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy Advance. While the game itself isn't on the top of the list of my favorite games, the reason why it's special to me is that this is the first game I got when my parents bought me my pearl blue Game Boy Advance SP. And if you had one back in the day, you know how special those handhelds were. Mario Kart games are just not my cup of tea when it comes to gaming, but I do remember beating the game and I did enjoy it quite a bit. I don't have much to say about Mario Kart, but it does deserve to be on the list since my Game Boy was a huge part of my childhood. Keeping it on the Game Boy vibes, we have a 2-for-1, and they are Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Silver. I played Pokemon Yellow for the first time before I had my Game Boy, so being that I never owned a copy of it, the day that I did get to play it, that sparked a lifelong love for Pokemon games for me. I still remember like it was yesterday. We were at a park during a family party, and one of my cousins owned a copy of it for his Game Boy. He let me play it for a bit while we were on the playground, and let me tell you, playing Pokemon for the first time ever is an experience that is nearly impossible to replicate. And being able to play with my two favorite Pokemon of all time, Pidgeot and Arcanine, was just a cherry on top to make this game memorable for me. Now we have Pokemon Silver. It is such an amazing game. While I never owned a copy of this game either, I did have a great friend that let me borrow it. There was just one thing wrong with it. It didn't save.
Come on now, dawg. Come on!
Being that we were so young, one would never imagine that the reason why it didn't save was because of a dead SRAM battery in the game cartridge. I had to restart the damn game every time I turned off my Game Boy. Or if I didn't want to restart, I would leave my SP on for very unhealthy amounts of time to be able to continue later on. The struggle was so worth it though. This game was incredible. Going back to the best console ever, we have the Jak and Daxter series on PS2. But to be more specific, Jak 3. Being banished to the wastelands and being part of the desert city of Spargus with amazing races on my favorite buggy, the Dune Hopper, or riding the Leaper Lizards made this a game to get lost in for hours and hours at a time. It was a game I played a lot at my friend's house. That same friend that let me borrow Pokemon Silver. We lived very close to each other, and I remember I would wake up very early on summer vacation or on the weekends and head straight to his house so we could game it all day. Games of this era just had something that made them such an amazing vibe. And for the boys, you know exactly why these older games were just so awesome. In the early 2000s, one of the biggest forms of entertainment was the WWE. And the games that came with it were just as great. And in my opinion, the best is Smackdown vs. Raw 2007. This game in particular was one of the last games to include a good decision-making career mode with a custom wrestler and a great locker room that essentially could be fully customized. And if we're being honest, we were boys hitting those teenage years, so you know this game had plenty for us to see. Am I right or am I right? Playing Royal Rumbles and Money in the Bank were my favorite game modes. These game modes back in the day made it feel like you were the ones in the match. And to replicate that same feeling in person, my friends and I would all get together to recreate those events on a trampoline and have a heck of a time doing it. Looking back at it, I'm very surprised none of us got seriously hurt. We would actually get small ladders or step stools and put them on the trampoline or throw each other off like it was Royal Rumbles. Oh, those late 2000s adrenaline-filled activities were the best. Now, we're stepping into more modern times with Modern Warfare 2. And I know, technically it's not a childhood game, but I was in my early teens when this game came out, so I would still consider it part of the early games I played growing up. This game right here, hands down, is and will always be one of my favorite games of all time. We would always get together at our cousins' houses and play split-screen multiplayer. Since my brother and I didn't have a PS3 right off the bat, we were not as good as them. But my brother came in so clutch and he saved up enough money to buy us a PS3. And to this day, I am so grateful of him for doing that for us. I couldn't sleep for days because of how excited I was to play. Thanks to him, I was part of the early days of this game. Before gaming headsets were as popular as they are now, we used those Bluetooth single ear mics to talk to each other, or even call each other on speakerphone. And my friends and I can't be the only ones that started a clan. And in those days, our clan was named Zoh, Z-O-H. We had Zoh Icy, Zoh Sick, Zoh Amazing, Zoh AA, and myself, Zoh Optics. Shoutouts to you guys. Those were the days. And then the hackers and challenge lobbies started to show up. I still remember my first challenge lobby. I honestly thought they were going to steal my identity or something, but they did unlock everything for me. I can go on and on about the good and the bad about this game, but man, was this a game to experience yourself. You just had to be there in the days before it became the mess it turned out to be. The next game is a huge entry into my teenage years, and it's the original Call of Duty Black Ops. There's really only one thing I have to say about this game, and that's zombies. And don't get me wrong, I did enjoy the multiplayer of this game, but if I'm being honest, zombies with the boys was where you had to be at. Kino der Toten was the place where real bonds were made, and we really went to great lengths to play. I live in the Midwest, and I remember during those very cold and snowy days, we would throw our PlayStations in our backpacks to avoid playing split screen and would walk to each other's houses in that bone-chilling weather. We lived miles away from each other, but to get in a few games of zombies, there weren't barriers we wouldn't cross. I even took my PlayStation to school once in my backpack to go straight to my friend's house right after that bell rang. That was real dedication and love for the game. It's so sad to see what the new games have become. This title is a staple into many people's gaming lives, and including mine. From the creepy, almost nightmare-causing menu screen to the brain-twisting story mode and the different zombie maps, I couldn't be the only one when playing zombies super late at night and being just a little bit paranoid looking over your shoulder once in a while. Or was that just me? Nonetheless, an amazing game. And the cherry on top that greatly influenced my love for gaming is Minecraft. The first time I played Minecraft was on my school laptop during that alpha phase. Entering high school, my class was the first to receive laptops, so naturally, we had to figure out how to get some games on it. And the security back in the day was not the best since it was such a new thing, so it wasn't that difficult. One of the first things my friends and I did was download Minecraft, and of course we played it during classes. It got to a point where we started modding the damn game, and for short of better words, it was incredible. That's how I experienced the Aether mod for the first time, with dual-wielded axes that ignited things with each attack. Those weren't the only experiences I had with Minecraft though. It has been a staple in my rotation of games. From staying up past 3 a.m. with a great cousin of mine back in the day, to more recently gaming on Minecraft with my son. The great memories to be made with this game just never end. Currently, my son and I are playing the Cobblemon mod, and seeing my little buddy get super excited with it just makes this game one of the best games of all time. And I bet it will be a staple in his gaming life also.
Ah! A monster! What's that one? What's that one, Dad? What's that one?
And there you have it. These are the games that defined my childhood. The ones that filled my early years with unforgettable moments. From the late night Duke Nukem sessions to leaving my Game Boy on for hours and hours just to keep my Pokemon Silver save alive. Now it's your turn. Did any of these games make your list? Was it Driver 3? SOCOM 2? Or maybe you had a completely different list of titles than me. Let me know in the comments below. This has been the Portable Pops. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you feel my content deserves it, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Granuma! got a new mole.